I was like, all right, well, that's an interesting opening for the show, but take 4. It is the Positively Petland show on 800 KXIC and KXIC.com. Joining us in studio, it's Ron Soulsrud. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning. How are we all doing?
We are doing wonderful. So it is the Positively Petland show. What's the dog of the week this week?
We're going to talk about the Bullmastiff. Is that the right breed for you and your family? And then you'll have some fun with that one. Then we're going to go into microchipping a little bit. We're going to talk about socializing your dog a little bit. And then Primal, the treats. Anything like with that name, it's got to be great for dogs.
It does. So. Primal is a great name of a treat. It makes you feel like, like Primal, or
it makes you growl.
It's the beast that's coming out of you. And for our, do you want to get into the amazing pet story of the week? Because this one is actually a really good one.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
It is the amazing pet story of the week. This one comes to us from Jersey City, New Jersey. A little science and some good luck has led to a New Jersey woman reuniting with her long-lost dog. Tanya Flowers of Jersey City says that her Maltese named Paris skipped out of her apartment last September. Flowers posted flyers hoping that someone had seen Paris and would bring the pup back. But then, just 1 week ago, the story is recent, so literally just 1 week ago, she got a call that changed everything. A Staten Island, New York shelter employee called Flowers telling her that they had Paris. The little dog was found walking through the tough New York streets using information from the chip implanted in Paris. Home Again Pet Recovery Services reunited Paris with Flowers. Once again, technology joining together with us humans, us dogs, and saving the day. So it's nice to see that amazing pet story of the week, Paris reunited with her owner.
And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit. It's interesting that you brought up that microchipping. I want to talk about that after we come back from our break, about the importance of microchipping, and then talk a little bit about how did that happen? In this one, how far away was those two?
You know, looking at it, I mean,
I don't know that area.
If she was in New Jersey and the dog was found walking in Manhattan, you know, that's across the bridge, so it's easily
across a bridge. Even
seriously, I mean, the whatever that main bridge is that goes between Jersey and or the tunnel, even
the Golden Gate.
No, that's in San Francisco.
I know. I just having fun.
That's like me saying that what was that from Australia, or the Cuban dog that I
oh yes, last week.
Yeah, so I
the Havanese.
Where's it from? Germany.
Germany.
So it is the Positively Petland show right here on AM 800 KXIC. Once again, we are joined in studio by Ron Soulsrud. What's going on with the store before we get into a break? Anything really exciting now that the temps are starting to warm up again?
Oh well, we're getting done with spring break now, but this has been one crazy week. I think everybody stayed home and went to Petland, which was very, very good. I do appreciate our customers because they were very forgiving with us this week. We were just getting slammed and having a lot of fun. Everybody was playing and all that. And that's what I think everybody's feeling is, well, we're just here to play, so don't worry, you know, we'll hang out. And so life was busy, but a lot of fun in the store. A lot of changes are coming our way this year, so we're looking forward to planning things out, a remodel and everything like that. So that's going to be at
the main store there.
Yeah, we're gonna change things up quite a bit. It'll be a whole new store when we're done, and so that'll be fun.
Remind me again, how long have you been in that building? So it's
10 years. Oh, the store has been for 15 years. Wendy and I have owned the store for the last 10 years.
Okay.
And we're due for a
I guess I didn't realize it had been that long, but certainly it's always nice to get those updates. Once again, the Petland store on the east side of Iowa City, over near the Iowa City Marketplace, directly across from Lucky's Market, if you're familiar with the area. So, and then give us a just quick tease, if you will, about
today. We're open at noon. And then closed at 6. So get in that window. It'll be another fun day, party day at Petland. Oh, We started Snapchat. So if you're on Snapchat, get onto it. But if your kids are onto it, we're making it fun. It's a lot of photos of fun things that are happening in the store. But if you're coming in, we always have our $5 nail trims. You can't beat a $5 nail trim. Buy 10, get one free on all of our dog food and cat food. So we track that for you so you don't have to. And then obviously most people are coming in there just to have fun, play with the ferrets, the bunnies, the puppies, the fish. Don't take them out of the aquarium. Everybody's loving our veiled chameleon right now. We have a very large adult male veiled chameleon, beautiful, and everybody's loving that guy. So come in, have some fun.
It is the Positively Petland show right here on Iowa City's news and sports station, 800 KXIC. Ron, you said don't take the fish out of the aquarium. That just reminds me that if you see a sign like that, it means that somebody actually did whatever the sign says. So if you head over to Petland and you see a sign that says, please do not take fish out of aquarium,
we'll do it for you, but it'll be keep them in water.
Chances are somebody attempted to do it themselves. So lesson learned there. It is the Positively Petland show. Good morning from AM 800 KXIC.
Yeah, now I'm ready.
God, you should have heard me this morning. I don't know if I just slept horrible or what, but I could not get like the cobwebs out of my throat this morning at 5 o'clock. So don't feel too bad.
Takes a little while to clear that
garbage out of there. All right, here we go. Good Sunday morning. Thanks for joining us. It is the Positively Petland show. Good morning, Ron.
Life is still beautiful.
It is always beautiful. The warmer temps, the sun is shining, and things are happening at Petland. And let's get right into what is the breed of the week.
So it is the Bullmastiff, so a very large breed. And I always like to stump Jerry on these things.
Oh, Lord.
Where does the Bullmastiff? We had a lot of fun last week on this one. We did stump you. Where does the Bullmastiff originate from?
I'm trying to think. Bull, bulls, Spain.
Yeah, I kind of would think. I was going down that path. Like if I didn't know, I would be going down that path.
How about England?
Ooh, you hit it on
Did I?
the head. Yeah, early England, in fact. In the early 19th century, English gamekeepers created this noble breed by crossing the bulldog, so that would be the English bulldog, so that big, lumbering. A veterinarian described the English bulldog as a breed made with spare parts. And I love that because that's so true.
Yeah, it's got a lot of different uniqueness to it.
The English bulldog with the mastiff to obtain swift, powerful dogs for protection against poachers. These dogs combine tremendous physical strength and guarding instinct with an affectionate disposition and devotion to their master. Hey, we're going to go talk about that, because how can you have a dog that is sounds like aggressive in one way, but wait, nice whole nother way?
It's probably the size factor. He thinks, or he or she thinks, hey, I'm big, but then they are teddy bears.
Right. And we'll talk about even socializing that dog, because I've always been of that belief. Do not train your dog to be an attack dog.
Well, absolutely.
It's not something you'll ever benefit from. We always think, let's say I want something to protect me in my house. It would be wrong to train a dog to protect you, because what you'll end up with is not what you want.
Right.
And we'll address that though. We could still hit the person that wants a protection thing. We'll still be able to do that, but we'll talk about in our socialization aspect of it. We'll talk about how you can get both and have a really, really wonderful dog. Okay, but the Bull Mastiff in 19th century England, before industrialization, the Royal Agrarian Society.
You did it justice. You're
agrarian.
Agrarian.
Yeah. Why isn't it capitalized though?
Don't ask me these questions.
Agrarian society was composed of large federal estates surrounded by small tenant farms. It was the gamekeeper's duty to prevent the desperate and determined poacher from illegally taking the wild game that roamed the landowner's property. Wow, those were the days. You had a dog protecting your wild game, your pastures. His dog, a large, powerful dog, as dark as night, had the ability to sneak up on a poacher unaware, knock him to the ground, and hold him without harm until the gamekeeper arrived the next morning. Can you imagine? Man, I would never poach on that group again. I was pinned to the ground. The gamekeeper's night dog, fearless yet not furious, was the predecessor of today's Bullmastiff. That's the history. That has got to be one of the best histories of a dog.
Absolutely.
Some other little notes here. Even today, fleetness of foot and the instinct to pursue have remained distinct characteristics of the Bullmastiff. Today's Bullmastiff is seen in the conformation ring and at companion events, but his most important role remains that of devoted family companion and protector. But we're protector again. You're not going to train this dog to be a mean dog. The Bullmastiff's head should be okay. Oh, they're going into some size things here. The Bullmastiff's head should be large and square to down and hold the poacher. Wow. So that's what it was for. To the poacher who is a full-grown man. So that's why this Bullmastiff has such a large head. Living with the Bullmastiff will give his owner and family boundless love and devotion, but will retain a part of himself as a free spirit. A Bullmastiff with a free spirit. A little more Bullmastiffs require a little grooming because of the short hair. They're not, you don't have to get them groomed. You will want to use the Furminator because it is a shedding dog.
What's the Furminator?
Oh,
I do not know this phrase.
You will hear us use Furminator quite a bit.
Okay.
It is a tool that I will admit is an expensive little buggard, but it says it does extremely well. So Arnold Schwarzenegger had nothing to do with Furminator, but it defurs all the loose hair. It is an unbelievable tool to get that out. Like, on your Great Dane, you would have loved this.
Okay.
And you would have gotten the horse, the equestrian size, because it's a much wider brush, but it does such a great job of getting that hair out. Whenever you see, and I'll bring one in.
So it's a passive tool.
Yeah. Okay. In fact, groomers have, hey, I'll furminate your dog for X amount of money.
Okay.
Furminator, that's the tool on the market. But you can.
I'm thinking it to like a dethatcher for your yard.
It is in that. Oh gosh, that's a great analogy right there, because that dethatchers, don't they do a wonderful job? You're like, how did you leave all the living grass in there?
That's twice that you were mesmerized by me. I got the English made the reference to a dethatcher
in one episode. I love it.
I'm playing catch up here.
So the Furminator will be used to get the loose hair out. Sure. And because the Bullmastiff is a large breed dog, you'll want to get one of these because you will see some shedding around the house. But that Furminator will help you in minimize the Furminator aims that it will be able to get 92% of the loose hair out.
And I'm assuming that this is a dog that would not be good for a small apartment.
Okay, so there is AKC, and this is who I'm referencing right now. I didn't say that on the front end.
I was getting too egotistical on my
knowledge.
AKC,
and I never came out with a statement or anything, but I just noticed in their literature on large breeds, they used to always say not meant for apartments, but now they do say okay for apartments. And I don't know if that was a something that was, I don't know what, but and I'll talk with him. Actually, we'll be seeing the AKC in another month or two and ask him about that. But what my theory is everybody thinks that, oh, well, I have a big yard, I have a fenced-in yard, or I go or whatever is the criteria. But I think what we're finding out is you can have all that, but do you really do it? Do you really take the dog out? Do you really go for the walks and all that? So all these apartment dwellers were being, shunned and all that. Yet they're out more households. Just think about our houses. I know I have to force myself. In fact, this morning did it. I had an opportunity to go cross country skiing. I had an opportunity 4 days ago, right when it snowed, or more.
A week ago.
Oh, but I wimped out.
Yeah.
It was too cold. I did one of those. And so that's what happens quite a bit. And so I think AKC recognized that and said, look, if you're an apartment dweller, you get out and you're going to bring this dog with you. You're making that commitment and do it. Get one.
Yeah.
The bull mastiff is not going to be this rebel rouser in your house. If let's see, Australian Shepherd, a standard size Australian Shepherd, it'd be interesting to see if say that one's the apartment, because that dog is quite high in the apartment. Yeah, could get, but even in the house, it's going to get into trouble.
Sure.
And so, but if you have a yard fenced, all that kind of stuff,
I guess
now you'll let them out, let that energy.
My line of thinking there was the size aspect of
right.
it.
That's not,
but that's not, according to the AKC, that's not a requirement.
And again, they're not like coming out and yelling this, but you could see it in their literature. They're saying
shift.
Right. Yeah. So a little vignette on that. Bull mastiffs require little grooming, regular bathing, and nail clipping are all that is required. Here, I like when they bring out bathing. You know how we say dogs are stinky?
More of their breath than, well, yeah, I guess sometimes. Yeah. If you don't bathe them regularly.
But you can do almost the same thing with the breath, this analogy. If we didn't bathe ourselves for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, would we be stinky?
Making me feel a bit guilty. But,
yeah, I mean, we would be awful.
Yeah.
And here we're punishing the dog, with these verbiage. Oh, you're such a stinky dog. Yeah, well, you haven't given me a bath in 3 weeks either.
Well, dogs sweat. Dogs get into stuff. They rummage around in the dirt in the backyard. So, I mean.
They don't sweat. I had to just correct you on that.
They do not?
They do not sweat.
Really?
They're one of those mammals that don't sweat. I remember when I was a little kid, bunnies, I found out when bunnies don't sweat. And so you're not supposed to.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Do you know how? So why do we sweat? What's the function of it?
Cooling our body or regulating time.
So how does a dog get rid of their heat then?
Oh, through the mouth.
Yes.
That's right.
Panting.
Okay.
So we can as well, but that's why a dog pants extra hard is getting the heat out. And we'll talk. Why does heat come out their mouth anyways? That's an engineering thing.
I apologize. That's the second time I've hijacked you from talking about the mastiff.
So that's the bull mastiff, and that's a good round area as far as is this the right breed for you? So we found out that it is big, it's huge. We're well over 100 pounds. It is a shedding dog. You're going to use the Furminator because you are going to notice the shed from this dog. It is a short hair, so it's not as like a golden where it has that long hair and is a large breed. You're going to see more of a golden shed around the house than you would bull mastiff, but because of the size, it almost makes up for the difference there because it is such a bigger size.
It is Sunday morning. We are talking with Ron Solsrud from Petland on the east side of Iowa City. It is the Petland, PAWSitively Petland radio show, and we're talking about the Mastiff.
So that wraps that up. I wanted to get back to something you brought up earlier in the show, and that was the microchip.
Yeah, there was a lady in Jersey City, New Jersey, who lost her little dog, Paris, a Maltese, for 6 months, and then the Home Again Pet Recovery Service reunited Paris, the Maltese, with her owner. 6 months, that dog was gone. I mean, my heart would just be absolutely broken if I had lost one of my dogs for that long. Can you even imagine?
Right.
So that's the value of having the microchip being implanted. Correct?
Yeah, and I've heard even longer. There's one farm dog that was gone for 2 years. I just remembered we had our own situation here in Iowa City. We had a beagle. Oh, it was so heartwarming the way it all worked out. Okay, so a beagle went home with a lady probably in her young 20s, maybe middle 20s, lost her dog. Microchipped and registered, though. All right, so fast forward, lost her dog, and it was gone. Didn't ever hear anything. She got married, had kids, all this kind of stuff. All of a sudden, in North Liberty, the police department had to go pick up a dog, a stray dog or whatever. Picked up the dog, scanned the microchip. That's all police departments, fire departments, veterinarians, Petland. We have a scanner. And then we look on the national database. So the police department looked on the national database, saw that there was this name, number. They couldn't quite, it was a little outdated or whatever. Then they'll go back. Okay, who bought the microchip? Well, Petland did. And they looked up, called Petland and said, hey, we found the stray dog. We've tied it back so that we know you sold the dog to this lady. Can you help us find this lady? And we said, sure. And since they don't have an animal control environment there, they go, can you also take the dog right now? And so, yeah, we definitely took care of it. It had been in the weeds for a while, kind of a thing. So we cleaned it up, got it checked out, had our Dr. Ebert look at it, all that kind of stuff. So then we started doing our research and saying, okay, where is this customer now? We did the research. We found her. We left voicemails, emails, all that kind of stuff, called back. And she, at the beginning, goes, my life has changed. I don't know if I want the dog, hey, no problem. We'll rehome it and all that kind of stuff. But she goes, can I think about this for a little bit? And we said, sure, this is a really unique situation. She thought about it for, I think, an hour, probably talked with her husband, probably talked with their kids about it, called back elated. We want it, kind of a thing. Yeah. And so she came in, and it was one of those heartwarming stories. The family just sucked it right back in. We got a dog. Yeah. What probably happened in that situation was the beagle got taken in with another family. They didn't have the chip scanned or the dog scanned. Didn't know. Well, they knew it was somebody else's, but didn't pursue that. Got away again, and then got back to the original owner.
That's an amazing pet story of the week.
So a microchip story. So that's one. You have one there. Another thing to think about microchips. Why do you want to microchip your puppy or your adult dog? When we lose our dog, do you know where they go? The answer is no, because if you lose your dog, who are you? If you lost your dog, let's say you lived right here, Iowa City, who are you going to call?
Animal Control Services, probably first.
Iowa
Iowa City.
Yeah. Would you call Tipton? They have an animal shelter there. Volunteer, all volunteer.
Potentially, yeah.
You probably, though, wouldn't even know they had one.
Well, I do.
You do? Okay.
I mean, just
you're into the shelters.
I'm in the know and whatnot. But yeah,
but let's say it even went further out. Would you call Davenport? Would you call Dubuque? Would you call dogs run? And they run really well. Within a day, they're already to Tipton, kind of a thing. Or they're close to Tipton. Somebody in that area picks the dog up, brings it to Tipton. When we talk with these different animal shelters, we find out that here in Tipton's case, most of the dogs that come into Tipton are from Iowa City. So when they scan the microchip, when it gets there, good news. We now can call the owner and say, hey, we got your dog. You're all the way in Tipton? Holy cow, I didn't even think that. So your dog will end up in places you'll have no idea. So the microchip gives people the ability to know that this is your dog. And so that's the power of the microchip. Two things that I want to bring out. One, you have to register the microchip. Everybody's about a cheap microchip. You can get these things installed for as cheap as maybe still $5 every once in a while. Veterinarians, I think, are $25 to $50.
Which, if you think about it, dogs these days are an investment.
Yeah.
I mean, you would register your car. You would, in some cases, even register your bike or things like that. I mean, in often cases, these are hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of
and this
pet.
So much more important to register your dog with the micro in the name. And I'm not even saying, it is important to register your dog with your city if it's required and all that. This is registering them with the national database of microchipping. And that's how the dog that we talked about in that front story was found. That's how this beagle that I just talked about, it was in the national database. That's what got us going in the right direction. When you do that, then people know who you are. But when you just get a microchip, it's not registered. That's what I'm trying to bring out here. is you have to get it registered. So you might get a cheap microchip. It's still going to cost you money, though, to register in this national database. This is how they end up making their money. They'll get the chips out there, but you got to register in order for it to be of any use.
Okay.
So if you've got a microchip and let's say it's only registered locally here with the animal shelter, that's a nice first step. But I'm telling you, you want it in the national database. That's where it counts. And that's going to run you 150 to over 400. You mentioned Home Again. That's about a $400
Is it really? Wow.
program there.
So there are multiple national databases then?
There is one national database, but these are different organizations that feed into it. And it's kind of like the road to it. So you got to go through one of these roads to get to it.
And I guess I'll ask the silly question, what's the difference between the and 400?
It's just the way they've structured the program. So all of Petland's dogs, cats, puppies, kittens, all of them are microchipped. All of them are registered, and it's included in the price of the puppy or the kitten or the cat or the dog.
When you come into Petland and you say, here's the X number of dollars for this pet, then
it includes it right in there.
It's right.
It's not an option.
Okay.
This is one of those things where I don't need that. It is not an option. It's right for society. It's right for the dog or cat. It's right for the owner. I understand that you might not understand this at this point, but if you ever lost your dog, it plays an important role.
And if you own a dog, chances are at some point, whether it was across the street, the neighbor's yard, or
squirrel,
the next town away, chances are your dog has either jumped the fence, wiggled through a fence, and gotten out. So I'd be very surprised to hear from anybody that hasn't happened to.
Right. And ours, it happens more than you ever thought it would happen. So registering it in a national database. And if this is all like, I don't know what to do, come to Petland and we can actually show you how to do it on your own. And then the other thing is with Petland, all of our dogs and cats go home with what is quote unquote Amber Alert on top of that. And it's really cool. This makes microchipping like on steroids, because now alerts go out that I lost my dog in whatever area you lost it. So if you're on vacation, it'll put an alert out in that area. Think of this. All it does is sends an email out to that area of anybody that has a scanner. So the police departments, the veterinarians, they're all on it. But then also, if you registered your dog through this program, you're on the mailing list too. And so it brings the chances of getting your dog. I think if you have nothing, no microchip, no nothing, you got something like less than a 20% chance. Brings it to 82%. And that's for our store. We actually see the tracking, 82% chance of getting your dog back or cat back or whatever it is. And the way it does is an email disbursement. And then you go, wait, that's too simple. And I was in the same boat. This is how it works. You're driving down the road and you see a little Shih Tzu running around and you go, oh, I hope it's not lost. Oh, maybe I should pull. Oh, no, there's a family right there. I bet you that family owns that Shih Tzu. And then you keep going, kind of a thing. Or I'm late for work. I can't stop. All right. Now you were on your email and you just noticed, Pet Alert, because you're a member, and you saw a little Shih Tzu with little bandit eyes and all that kind of stuff. Lost the dog yesterday. Oh, poor little thing. I hope we find it. Now you're driving to work. I see it. Pull over because it's lost. Pick that little Shih Tzu up. You call the number. It's found. And that's how easy it is. And it is that powerful.
I had a friend a few years ago that was, I don't even know if we're friends anymore on Facebook. I think that we are, but she would send out every single lost pet alert from California to Kansas City to New York on the local feed. And she had friends in all of those places, but sometimes it's kind of like, okay, I don't need to know about every lost lizard or cat or dog or whatever in San Diego. So anyway, you get to choose that.
This one is very focused. So when you get the email, it's relevant to you. So that's microchipping. That's my 2 cents on that. Do it. If you're like, I'm not sure we registered, you didn't. When Wendy and I bought the store, we were not registering, or they were not in the past. I called the microchip and I said, I want you to look how many of them were registered. 4%, because it was microchipped, but then we gave them the application to register it. So 4% of the customers did it. And so when Wendy and I bought Petland of Iowa City 10 years ago and found out that really quickly, I said, we are going to change that to 100% starting today. And so we register if you put your email that's on your phone before you leave the store, you'll get an email from the national database. Hey, we got your dog all signed up, kind of a thing. Before you even leave the store, so you're protected.
We are talking once again with Ron Solzrud. I'll let you catch your breath. Positively Petland Show, Petland, Iowa City, East Side, over near the Iowa City Marketplace, right across from Lucky's Market. We've just got a few minutes to go.
All right.
So why don't you get into treats? And then,
we're going to get into treats. We got to talk about socializing your dog, whether it's a puppy or a dog next week, and that'll be an easy one. Hey, let's talk about treats, because we talk a lot about dog food on this radio show, and we will review dog foods. If you want to look at past ones, you can always come into the store and we'll talk with you about dog food if you're looking for a change. But I was changing it up and just talking about some really interesting treats that are out there. In this case, it's the Primal pet food makes dog food. They make freeze-dried foods, which a whole nother topic, is a wonderful product. I feed this as a supplement to my dog. So they get the hard kibble and then they get some of this freeze dried because it's got the enzymes protected and all that kind of stuff. You know what? All of that stuff, if it works, it works. I'm fine with it. But holy cow, my dog loves it. That's what I like.
I like your honesty there of most people might come in here and go, oh my gosh, you absolutely need every single one of these. And you're like, hey, if it works, it works. Great. Dog likes it. I'm happy.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
happy or she's happy. It's great.
Oh, I know it is at least better than like some of the milk bony type products that are out there that, I know that's fuller, because as soon as I feed it to my dog, it's coming out the back end and it's coming out and like I thought it multiplied while it was in there or something. These you find you can feed it to your dog, they love it, and I know that it's much more digestible and better for them. But listen to this on this. I just pulled up freeze-dried pork liver munchies. And so some of their little marketing things, freeze-dried pork liver munchies benefits. Crunchy and irresistible. They're going to get a little better than that. Pork raised in the United States without antibiotics or added hormones. Okay, I like that. Single source protein. So they're saying this is liver, and guess what's in here? Pork liver. All right, healthy treats for dogs and cats. We're going to get a little bit into the detail on that one. High protein. We're going to hit that one hard. You're going to see how much protein. No preservatives. Grain and gluten-free. What's in this treat?
Grain and
no, that's not in it.
Gluten.
Pork liver.
Pork liver. Thank you.
That's all that's in there. No added salt or sugar. So now here, guaranteed analysis, and this is what you'll see.
Scare me when you point at me like that. It's like performance anxiety.
It's like being in a classroom. Professor, I forgot.
Go. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, so guaranteed analysis. So normal dog food is if it's a little lower quality, it's in the low 20s, upper teens. As you get higher, it's better kind of a thing. Protein in this treat, 71%. This thing's chucked full of it. It's really good. Fat, 14%, which is not actually all that much. Your food probably has more of a 20% area on it. Crude fiber, if you could guess, is really low, 1%. And then moisture is 6%. If they did not have any moisture in the product, it would be a hard as a rock kind of a thing. So they got to put a little or leave a little moisture in there. So that's the guaranteed analysis. It even goes into some minerals, and you're going to find out it's got a lot of iron in it, some copper in there, manganese, I almost said it wrong, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, some really good stuff that you would expect to see in liver. But this is a really good product, and your dog, like, it will go sniff, sniff. Oh. It doesn't hesitate. This stuff really smells good to them and really tastes good.
I'm going to have to check out YouTube and see the reaction of how you did. Can you do it again? How was that?
Wrong.
You can see, do a YouTube search and check out the Positively Petland show on AM 800 KXIC.
And so we just reviewed Primal pet foods, and I looked at their freeze-dried pork liver munchies. Check it out. We got them at the store.
Give your hours one more time, and anything else as we wrap up
so
this week's show?
Sunday, we are open from noon until 6. All other days, we're open at 10 a.m. till 9 p.m.
So swing over and check out Ron and all of his crew Spring break is over with, but the pets are always there and they love to be played with, correct?
We got one more day here, Sunday of spring break, technically.
Technically, but everybody's coming back into town. So head over to Petland this afternoon.
Have some fun.
And have some fun. Thanks for joining us. It is the Positively Petland show right here on Iowa City's news and sports station, AIM 800 KXIC.